the opportunity to introduce him to us. He comes from a long history of being an end man. Anybody know what an end man is? In the old minstrels, where there used to be end men and used to do stories and jokes and things of that nature. But this happens to be my father-in-law. He's going to be 95 in August, and he still beats me in everything that I do. We're privileged to have him live with us. His name is Bob Klinger, and he's going to share one of the stories that he's often done as a monologue. And just remember, he's 95, and he can do this for hours. But he's only going to keep you a few minutes tonight. But this is Bob Klinger. Would you welcome him as he shares his wonderful story?
Evening, folks. I bet you all would learn who Bob was, eh? I'm Bob. Been around a while. I don't tell people how old I am, but I give them a hint. I tell them my social security number is 3. You know, when you get up my age and you're in a group, you eventually end up talking about whatever happened to. You remember when? Well, I got a few of those things tonight to talk about. Whatever happened to running boards on an automobile? Where did they go? How about the milkman? How about the afternoon newspaper? I go a long way back with that. 1942, I peddled 72 newspapers, 6 days a week for $1.15. That was pretty good money for a 13-year-old back in 1942. Well, anyhow, those things that have disappeared, a lot of them, and we sometimes sit and talk about them. Well, there's one that comes to my mind. In fact, in my little hometown up in northeast East Pennsylvania, this was a very revered place. Almost everybody had one. And a good friend of mine wrote a poem about it, and I'd like to give you that poem now. Out in the backyard, I can visualize it still. Stood that very necessary house upon the hill. It wasn't very fancy. It didn't have a view, but it was very cozy with just room inside for 2. Had barn boards for sidewalls and a plain old wooden floor. Didn't even have a window, but a half moon cut in the door. It was a haven of convenience, catering to those who had to find our answer to nature's urgent call. Even though a bit odoriferous, it was a restful nook. Some folks in their visit there even lingered with a book. At times, the one who in there sat regularly enthroned was rarely interrupted when the little house was stoned by some misbehaving children who just happened to pass by. The girls would get so embarrassed they just died. Many a hasty run was made through the night, and then the shadow to find shelter in that little place and relieve one's desperate plight. But one get there to find the darn door closed, and then wait their turn to pressure down their toes. But what conditions were if they came before they came to grief? They could find that little house, they were sure to find relief. Outhouse, Privy, Chicksdale's Loo, it's had many a fancy name, but regardless what they called it always smelled the same. Outhouse, Privy, Chicksdale's Loo. Yeah, that's it. Although that Privy is long gone, forget it, I never will. That little old house up there on the hill. Thank you. had enough of my money to go do something else. I came at a great expense here tonight, but I'll eventually get it paid off. This might be appropriate for this group. Thought I'd see the doctor. Wasn't feeling just right. All those aches and pains annoyed me, and I couldn't sleep at night. Well, he could find no real disorder, but he wouldn't let it rest. What with Medicaid and Blue Cross, he decided to run some tests. He sent me to the hospital. Oh, I wasn't feeling that bad. Well, he arranged for them to give me every test that could be had. I was fluoroscoped and cystoscoped, my ancient frame displayed, stripped upon an ice-cold table, my gizzards was x-rayed. Stuck me long needles to take samples of my blood. Doctors came and pushed and poked around, and to make sure I was living, they wired me for sound. Well, they finally concluded. Results filled the page. What I had would someday kill me. My affliction, old age.